I'll say right here, we are not organic. We're very, very sustainable. We're going to be here next year, and we're going to have a better operation next year than this year, and that's what we view sustainability as.
When you guys are walking through here, you see a lot of these little black tapes. These little black tapes, these are drip tape. This is how we irrigate everything. Crops such as spinach, Swiss chard, carrots, beets, kohlrabi. I'll run through with a little vacuum seeder, seed them in the beds. We'll lay the drip tape, we'll grow them the rest of the year. It is the most consistent and efficient way to use water.
Very stewardly. It's a great way to farm. We're probably watering less than 20% of the surface area. So in between the rows, it's basically a dryland desert. The weeds don't grow, we don't have to pull weeds.
If you look at all the plants too, you'll see plastic. And by having the plastic on top, it controls weeds and it controls evaporation. So we can water a lot with very little.
All of these plants are grafted. We use grafting to help us be more sustainable. We don't use a lot of chemicals. We're always looking for different ideas. And by grafting these tomato plants, we can use a scion, which is the upper part of the plant, and graft it onto a root that comes out of Central America or someplace that has evolved resistance to a lot of these diseases that plague Minnesota tomato growers.
That is 90% of what we do here. We spent close to $300,000 on beneficial insects on this operation alone to try to prevent us from having to spray insecticides and fungicides. We do whatever we can not to spray.
A gentleman asked what in the strawberries, he goes, what are those yellow things? And I said they're sticky traps. So we use the sticky traps to figure out what bugs are in there, how to treat, because different insects, bugs require different strategy on how to deal with them, and also gives us an idea of actually how many are in there. We have a couple guys that go around that are biologists, and they go around and check the plants for fungicide, mold, mildew, different types of insects eating them and things like that. It's really important to get out in front of a problem because they can manifest themselves really fast, especially when you have so many plants in such a confined area. Things can spread really fast.
There's always, and it gets worse every year, a shortage of bees. We have a lot of bees on this farm because we do everything in our power to protect them. They are very, very valuable to us. Every tunnel of tomatoes or anything that needs an insect pollination has a hive of bees right within the tunnel, and those are all bumblebees, which are very amiable.
We actually feed the bumblebees. We water the bumblebees. We just, as I tell my engineers, I said, it's your job to provide them loving. Because if they're stressed, they don't do the job for us. They've got a little sugar tank underneath. We got to fill that with water and sugar. They've got a little cap on top we buy pollen in to feed them.
We have a tremendous commitment here to Wright County Community Action, and last year we were able to donate over 200,000 pounds of fresh produce to them, and they distribute it to about 13 or 14 food shelves. So anything that doesn't go there then goes to what we call wagon loads of cow chow. So that's what the guys say, I need a load of cow chow. We compost a lot of product. We cover the ground every year with compost in these tunnels, and it brings up the organic matter. So you have healthier soil and you have better water holding ability.
Do you notice we have a lot of trees around our farms? Why do you think we plant trees around our farms? wind erosion, wind protection. What this does is, remember, it's a windbreak for 30 times the height of the tree. So if those trees are 100 feet tall, you got a windbreak for 30 times of that. What is that? How far out does that give us? Yep. So it helps protect a lot of these structural, these 3-season high tunnels.